Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, or welcome back. If this is your 22nd and final Season 5 episode review for The Rookie, hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe out there in the big bro world. Yeah, this is the finale. We are here. It has happened. The world is once again uncertain, this time in the scape of TV. But we'll talk more about that either a little bit later on or in next week. If things don't change. If you already know what I'm insinuating, you know what I'm talking about. But I'll talk more about that in a bit. But going into like just in general, because I have to talk about this, I know for sure this is one of the best episodes of Season 5. This is one of the best. I was going into the season finale thinking, was it going to top the Season 2 mid-season premiere? I feel like that is one of the best suspenseful episodes of The Rookie. Yeah, this is a very solid number 2. Very solid. I'm usually not one for talking about cinematography or lighting or like how the pacing was, but I feel like this was really, really, really well done. And definitely I'm very grateful that we know we will be back for Season 6. I'm very grateful about that. The only question is, how will that be resolved? And honestly, the way this finale went, again, definitely it feels like majority of the Rookie finales have been like, we are mostly setting up the next season rather than like tell this like amazing, epic solo adventure that, is just that feels the mood of the entire season. Now, before you say, there are a couple of things that they did finish off this season, and there definitely was a sense of like, yeah, there is going to be more to tell. In the next run through when we come back next time. But it feels like again like there's the only reason why I say this is a solid number 2 and one of the best episodes of The Rookie is like I can't put it quite at the top because it falls under the little bit of my guise of like I really don't like it whenever they have the finale kind of mostly set up for the next season. And I understand it's like, trying to get people more hooked into like, oh, we'll be back next season, so here's the story, here's like, a little tease or like the big tease. And we got a lot of that this episode. It definitely did. And again, I'm going to say, you can say like the Season 2 finale did the same thing. The Season 3 finale did the same thing. Like, I understand that, like, trust me, like that's just a little nitpick. It's not going to affect my overall review of the episode. It really isn't, but I'm just like, in this day and age, having now reviewed 4 full seasons of The Rookie, 5 total if you count the full review we did earlier last year. Definitely, yeah, I have to mention, like, yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see how that's all going to play out, but like in terms of this episode, it still was very near perfect. It definitely represents the best The Rookie has to offer. And I swear to God, like I got a little scared at some point. I got a little scared. But with that being said, let's go for the Butcher Recap and talk about the finale for The Rookie Season 5. So we begin, Aaron and Selena are heading home at 4 a.m. after a long session of D&D. Which I'm like, I got 3 questions to ask. 1. Who's going to play D&D till 4 a.m. in the morning? And 2, why, if context-wise, it just simulates that like these two like just had a late-night fling and they're just walking home from somewhere. Selena's superstition gets the best of her as she overhears a noise from coming the alleyway. Being she is very curious and everything, she forces Aaron to go look. And just to say, the mood, the lighting of this entire, like, this opening is very perfect. It's, like, definitely on the creepy vibes a little bit. You know what happens in the preview, but, like, in terms of, like, going into this episode, like, you don't know what's entirely happening. How do we get to that moment? How long is this going to actually take? And the moment where, like, Selena signals Aaron, like, okay, we're at a fork. Let's split up. I'm like, you idiots. Like, I know you're cops, but rule number 1 in FUM, you never split up the duo. You never split them up. No matter how badass both of them are, like, you never split them up. Selena's looking around. She can't find anything. Aaron is heading down another alleyway, and then he gets cornered by 2 dudes. Selena overhears this while a 3rd dude is right behind her. And also, shout out to the framing of this shot. Like, just in general, like, you get little teases. Like, it's not like an ominous, like, empty background, then you see the eye. No, it's actually, you see the character, and in the corner, you gotta pay attention. You just see the eyes, and you just see the movements, and it's fucking scary as shit. And, like, if I was in that situation, I'd be crapping my pants right now. I really would be crapping my pants. Selena runs to Aaron. Aaron's already, bleeding a little bit. He's being held at gunpoint. Selena attempts to attack them with her gun and a pistol. However, the other dude hits her from the back, giving her a concussion. It's really just a straightforward thing. There's no real talking or anything. They just shoot Aaron from behind. They let Aaron bleed out. One of the dudes gives Selena this riddle for them to solve. I'm not even going to bother repeating it because I forgot about it. It's like Shroud of Secrecy, Dog with a Part. I already forgot the riddle. I really did. And then we just have Selena. Also like a little bit weird. Like I keep seeing movement in the back, so I thought the guy was gonna come back from that around, but like no. Selena calls 911, calls for backup. She goes over to Aaron's body and holds him for a little bit. As we cut to Bailey, who's on a night shift, Nolan being a very responsible fiance, decides to stay up with her, trying to give her like a little bit of support. Which I'm like, dude, Nolan, I know you love your woman, but like you need to sleep. # team sleep for life. Nolan also names drops Simone as he's decided to take this extra time being up to work on her garage remodeling project, which I'm like fair. That's a very fair thing to do. Bailey gets a call about a GSW with a cop. Of course, no one asks what division it was because, of course, obviously he's tied with his family. Bailey runs over there. Not Bailey, runs over there. She gets there by the EMT truck. Gray gets the call that it is Selena and Aaron that's been shot. So he immediately jumps out of bed, heads over to the scene of the crime. Bailey's the first to respond. She goes over to Selena and trying to assess Aaron. Aaron's fine-ish. Well, actually, he's not fine-ish. He's not dead. Thankfully, he's not dead. But definitely he's in very critical condition, so they gotta take him to the hospital. Selena is trying to be in cop mode, trying to help out, but Bailey just authorizes her to you need to be chill. You need to we're gonna get you help too. You're not getting on this duty. Gray shows up, immediately does his usual rigmarole of, setting up the perimeter, trying to get every available unit at this hour to come and, help out with the situation. Selena passes by him. She apologizes to him about, that it's my fault, if I had done this more, but, again, Gray's don't worry about it. Just focus about you. Get yourself well. We'll take care of it from here. Bradford and Chen are the first to respond to the scene. They immediately we gotta go around, look for anyone that has even any history of attacking cops. We gotta explore every single angle about this, and then go from there. From that point onwards, we cut over to the hospital where, conveniently enough, sadly, Lopez's water breaks. It's time for her to give birth. Everything's, seems to be in order for them. But as soon as they're about to check in, they notice Aaron coming in for the door. But of course, since Lopez is, still gonna give birth to a baby, she really can't interfere right now, and just letting Aaron go into the hospital room to await, the trauma surgeon to assess him a little bit. It's not, they're looking for the gunshot because the bullet itself, because the actual bullet, because the thing is that it never had an exit wound, so it's still in his body. So it could still cause damage even if it's inactive, because it's still a foreign piece in his body. Eventually Nolan comes through, gets filled in a little bit, and then Selena gets rolled in as well. Nolan immediately tries to comfort her, make sure that she's fine. Selena's before I forget this, here's a riddle that the guy gave me. She tells it to Nolan. Of course, obviously Nolan's you're a little concussed, so I'm maybe it's better just, let the doctors take care of you. But of course, Selena's very, very advanceful that this is correct. This is entirely what he said. And yeah, I'm about to go pass out. Not pass out, but just let the doctors take care of me. Nolan's just in distraught because again, he's witnessing two of his friends, two of his co-workers. Literally, one is near death and the other one just been attacked, severely. So I'm obviously, he's gonna feel a certain way about this. He heads outside. He tells Harper and Lopez that this is the message, the riddle that was given. It's literally not much to go on, but considering the fact that it's three very sketchy dudes and very custom-made masks, it really isn't gonna give them the opportunity that they're gonna need. To be honest with you, Aaron goes into a I forgot the medical terminology, even though I watch Grey's Anatomy and Good Doctor. I forgot what the term is, but he's bleeding out internally, so they got to take him to the OR right away to operate him. Otherwise, he's going to die. Lopez has no choice but to be benched since she's about to give birth any moment now, so she and Wesley go in to get checked in and get admitted for the birth. While Nolan and Harper takes us back to the others. We get to the bullpen where they're just laying down the facts that they know. It's like, it's a very ballsy move to target 2 cops, and literally, like, of course, like, the main key getaway is that Aaron didn't. They had a clear shot for Aaron's head. There was no like altercation. This wasn't a struggle. This was a pure beatdown. That if they wanted to, Aaron and Selena would both be dead. They had that right opportunity. Hell, if they even killed them, like, there would be no cops. Like, obviously they'll look for them, but it'll be like a whole day and a half, maybe 2 days later. Well, maybe not even that. They'll probably know it was D&D night. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably safe and still they'll be somewhere else. Where do we go from there? Yeah, so they're trying to figure it out. And of course, Nolan says one very scary thing that honestly a lot of people didn't think about. Are they done? Because again, like, obviously, yeah, well, Aaron and Selena are newbies. They're still like rookies to an extent. They're still the newcomers to this to Mid-Wilshire. If they're targeting carp specific at this level of severity without killing them, what's to say they're done, so to speak? So I'm like, yeah, that definitely does ring a bell. Sadly, that like, yeah, this might not be over. So they're all hands on deck. They're all trying to find any sort of information, contact all CIs, trying to figure out anything about this matter whatsoever. Also, a lot of scenes with like Aaron in the OR. It's like, yeah, definitely ABC is really leading into like, yeah, we do Grey's and Good Doctor too. We are kings of medical dramas. I want to say after that, Lopez has enlisted herself with Wesley and even Grey's wife to assess what the heck is this riddle. How do we figure this out? And the first half of the riddle is it could be said as like, very straightforward. The second half is very much a confusing piece of work right now. It really is. Selena manages to like, get comfied up a little bit. We cut to a little bit later in the day. To be honest with you, there was literally no like, progress on that front. They didn't get anything because like 3 custom-made masks, and there's no contractor that have recently made these orders. So I'm like, yeah, there really isn't much for them to go on. Definitely is very alarming. But right now, at the end of day 1, Nolan and Bailey go to visit Horace. She's doing better. She obviously is going to stay in the hospital for observation. Plus, Selena wants to be there for Aaron. Even Nolan's like, it's. I keep saying this like earlier this season. Like, Nolan and Bailey kind of act like Selena's new parents, like a little bit. It's like I know Nolan's like always been like kind of like the dad that Horace never got in, and then Bailey's just like that supported like stepmom, and it's just so sweet that like Bailey taps into like her spiritual side, and Nolan just knows like what she'd like oh yeah, here's 2 subs that you love, which I'm like they're a nice little family. It's like always like we have the big family, then we have little families, so to speak. They regroup up in the lobby with Grey, his wife, Bradford, Chen, and Harper. Literally, there is no progress today on the case, so they're going to pass it over to the night shift. If there's any new developments, they'll take care of it from there. Gray's going to stay and just, keep an eye on Juarez and, Aaron in case they need him. And there was like, while everyone's leaving to go back home and everything, there's just one one line that Gray said, which I'm like, it hurts a little bit. It really hurt. It's like a little bit of like acknowledgement that, everything does like matter. And again, like what I'm about to mention is like, it was like now 2 years ago, and it's like, yeah, things have changed. Like we've had a whole 2 seasons since that event, and I still felt a little salty about it, was that he told his wife, like, he's hoping that Aaron is going to make it because he can't lose another. And obviously he's referring to West. And again, like, like the way, if it sounds like I'm going to tear up, I'm not. It's just my nose is a little stuffy. But that line did hurt. It did hurt. That, like, hopefully we won't lose Thorson. Hopefully. And, last time around, Gray lost someone very important to him. He lost someone that he was like a mentor to, and like, as much as we don't have too many scenes between him and Thorson, it definitely does count as like it's still one of his own that he doesn't want to lose anyone else. So everyone's returning home. Chen and Bradford go back to her apartment. She just breaks out the machismo act and like just like cries in his arms, like knowing that like, yeah, 2 of her friends have been shot, and even Bradford, being the supportive boyfriend, like is comforting her a little bit more so. Then we cut over to Bailey and Nolan, who pick up salads, which I'm like, bruh, you pick up salads for dinner? At least a sandwich or something. I'm like, who does a salad for dinner? Regardless of the case might be, they're about to enjoy the salad, but immediately Nolan notices a figure behind their kitchen window. It's another mask from that's resembling to the one from earlier. Nolan signals to not get like, too much attention on him, like, taking Bailey to the bedroom and saying, like, look, call the cops right now. They're here. I'm gonna go get the guy outside, and no one does. But however, it's a plan, meaning that the guy planted a mask over there, while the real guy's inside in their bedroom attacking Bailey, about to kill her. Nolan thankfully runs in the nick of time to assist on a 2v1. But this guy is very skilled, a very skilled guy. He's actually taking down two of them at the same time. And honestly, again, this was like a very like, what the hell's gonna happen? Because I feel like this is as far as the previews got. I'm like, are they gonna make it? Is something gonna happen? Like, again, like that was the one concern that I always had going into this this episode. And there were some moments where like, I got scared, and like they could have really done a number on Nolan's house, but like everything's like it just needs to tidy up. Like no one could like knock out the repairs in like a weekend. But yeah, so thankfully between the power of a basically married couple, Nolan and Bailey immediately take down the dude after a knife in the back and then eventually a gunshot in the arm. Like they finally take him down. Resources come in, they immediately arrest the dude, and the guy's just like pleading the fifth. Like he hasn't like, you already know me. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna get a lawyer. So you can't really like do anything to me on right now. And it's again alarming that like they literally went into someone's home and waited themselves to attack. It's scary as hell. It really is. And also it just seems to notice like it's, I know they're gonna say like oh it's just our family. I'm like yeah I know it's like yeah I get it, but there's a larger Midwestern station out there. Like there's other officers we don't get like even like a name for. They could be targeted too. It's not just y'all. But I'm like yeah it's just y'all. They give Harper the call, and while Harper's working and like literally getting dead ends and everything, she gets the call. They're like, yeah, they attacked Nolan and Bailey, and once she realizes that they're attacking directly these cops, and especially themselves, besides Lopez and Wesley who are behind thing and Gray's with them, that leaves them left. So they're like, oh crap, this is alarming. So they go upstairs to get the baby, and even they look at the baby mom. The guy's already there. So Harper runs as fast as she can, but the baby's gone, and I'm like, holy shit, they're going there. They're gonna go there, and I'm just like, okay, I'm now more scared than ever for them. They go outside, and honestly, again, just another sake of the performance for this episode. The actress for Harper and her husband, very spot on this. Like they're both balancing responsible being parents as well as Harper being a detective, like trying to stay calm and preserve. But it's her daughter, it's her baby daughter, and the moment she witnesses the guy driving away, it pains her. Like there's a chance she may never see her kid again. There is that slim chance, but thankfully the guy didn't take her. She planted her on a tree outside their house, which I'm like is the biggest like moment of relief for them. They're like, there is no like, we're searching for the baby. We're looking for it. Like, she's fine. She's well. And she's here. And honestly, it's the most calming thing that you can ask for them. And also the baby's very, very cute, so to speak. So they all regroup kind of sort of back at the, not the hospital yet. We're still at Nolan's house, and they're saying like, okay, all families of us, everyone is gonna go into a hotel with like SWAT and every officer accounted for. We're like arming this place up in case they ever decide to attack any one of us again. That now we need to be on the offensive and figure out who the hell is really doing this. We go to the next day. Aaron's surgery is over. Well, it's been over, but I forgot to mention it. He's in a very critical state of like, we're watching him right now. Anything can happen, but these next few hours are very critical. Juarez decides to be by his side, giving him Dungeons and Dragon tropes to kind of wake him back up, so to speak, and like kind of, keep him fighting in a way. Lopez and Wesley are about to crack the puzzle finally. Wesley says like, well, why don't we look it from behind? And then eventually they find out it's a line from a one-act play, which I'm like, it's kind of crazy these guys knew about it, but I'm like, okay. By that time, they're in the hospital. Nolan's getting cleared out to go back to duty. And Lopez, before she gives birth, it manages to deliver them the information. I'm like, yes, this is from this play. Let's go get him. Like, it's very obscure. Like, this has to be them. So they do more research. It was a play from 1996, so older than me. there was a 3-week play. It got canceled for whatever reason, and then the mask, everything was basically liquidated to another costume company. And then recently, about a month or so ago, it was all the props, like all the masks, were purchased by one individual, a former comic, which is not terribly like in line for assaulting a cop. Definitely, this is like very extreme for this individual to do, so definitely they have no choice. But considering the fact this is their only big lead, and considering the fact they attacked an officer in his home and they almost took a baby, like definitely, like, it doesn't matter right now. This is our early lead. We're going in. So they head into the house. It's literally like a whole SWAT of people. They go in the house. They find the guy in a mask, and they assume like this is like the big mastermind moment where like, okay, you got me, but like my forces are already mobilized. That's not the case. It's not. The guy's already dead. He's been dead for quite a while now. He just cranked the AC up to slow down decomposition, so it's been a while for them. And they're noticing like this is all just way too convenient, and like they realize this is an attack. This is a bomb. Like, this entire house is a bomb. And literally, we're cutting to like other officers that are scouring the house. They're just slightly an inch away from opening a door that basically has enough explosives to destroy everyone. So I'm like, the show would have been over here. So they escape. They find the bomb, and yeah, once again, they're back to square zero of like, who the hell could have done this? And then so after that point, I want to say we get to. Yeah, I forgot. So after this point, we come back to the bullpen, and this time just like the main crew, and like now they're like, figuring out like, okay, at this point, like we just have to assume the only real connection here is like just by association, like anyone that has worked with him in the past, any cellmates, and they do compile a list. It's not that big of a list, so thankfully it doesn't give them much to do. Wesley calls in to let them know like, yes, Lopez is fine. They got a baby girl on the way. They were kind of hoping that they had some celebratory news for them. They don't, but they're on the case. But right now they're going to give Lopez and Wesley a pass to focus on their daughter and take care of her right now while they go take care of business. I want to say after this point, we just keep getting updates from Aaron and Juarez, at the hospital. Still them giving like weird Dungeons and Dragons vibes, so to speak, which is now available on streaming. Not streaming, on digital, so you can go pick that up right now. So they're going down the list. Chen picks up a pretty medium level, not a medium level dude, like kind of like a low risk dude, but of course considering the severity of things, Bradford decides to go with her. She's like, I don't need help, and he's like, you know what, for just do it. Let's just get this done. So everyone goes over to investigate the people. Chen and Bradford still have a little bit of like, banter as like they're getting into the apartment to go find him. And then in the apartment itself, the guy is, texting like, come get him. And then he puts on the mask ready for war. They knock on the door. He's not there, but, they look outside this like very like ominous, like, waiting room area in like in an apartment building. And they find 8 dudes fully decked out with riot gear. And I'm just like, shit. And also the way they shot this scene was like, there was like a window behind them. But for me, like for a brief moment, I found like, oh my God, they brought an army. Are they going to kill Bradford? Are they going to kill Chen? And are we going to get like the retaliation on the internet? Thankfully, no. It's not that like that. They know they're outnumbered, so they try to like, back up as much time as they can before like, the reinforcements arrive. But they got no choice. Like they shoot all their bullets. And I'm like, y'all know bullets don't really work on riot gear. I'm pretty sure they were trying to test if it was like, cheaply made riot gear, but I'm like, still, you're wasting your entire magazine, which they did. So they decided to go old fashioned, fighting them off one by one. Again, this is going to turn out very, very much differently, so to speak. And they're fighting them off, and again, it's a really well done fight scene. They're using all their resources, all of their abilities together as a couple and as officers. Everyone arrived, but sadly, every way to get to them easily is blocked off, so no one has to go all around to go find it while Harper whips out the big boys, the big guns, to go help them out. Thankfully, they managed to buy themselves enough time for no one to get them out of things, and then the entire backup and all the units come in to like, take down everyone else, so it's all a big old sweep. Gray shows up at the scene, and I swear to God, I got so scared because the last guy, the supposed leader of this whole thing, is running away very slowly with the mask, and Gray's like, about to follow him, which I'm like, if they kill off Gray, I will kill the show. I will legit be mad at the show. Well, thankfully he does notify everyone like, yeah, I'm going to the basement. I'm gonna be fine. You know, I'm gonna go after this dude. The guy, the leader, so to speak, contacts a mysterious caller, and I'm just thinking to myself, is this anyone we know? Because like they did name drop Elijah, but the way the guy's voice is, like, this isn't Elijah. It's not anyone else that I remember from the show's history. And then afterwards, so the guy's like thanking him, like, he didn't have really many options to go to. Then he came in and like offered them basically like a small militia to take down as many officers as he could. He just wished he could have done really even more damage to them. And the guy's like, nope, you did everything you had to do. Your part is finished. After this, you're on your own, pal. You're on your own. Gray slowly descends down to go find him. Again, at any point, I got so scared that Gray was gonna die. Nolan, Bradford, and Chen thankfully arrive. Of course, Gray was just telling them, like, just go back, go to the hospital, get yourself checked out. Which I know we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this together. They slowly go in. They eventually find the dude. His name is Luke, apparently. He gets cornered in. As precaution, he swallows the memory card of the cell phone he had, just to, like, hide the evidence, whoever the mysterious caller was. He gives his brief motivation speech once they corner him, saying that, like, yeah, I was arrested for elder abuse. Who specifically, we don't specifically know, but like he was sentenced to prison for 3 months, had to endure a lot, lost most of his family, lost his job, lost his house, all because, like, he again, we don't know the rectifications of the situation, but, like, it still hurt him in the end. Like, after all this time, he just wanted them to feel some sort of, but again, like, it's so specific that, like, they targeted the main cast instead of like an all-on assault on the base, in the HQ. Like, that was the bit surprising for me, that, like, he could have taken this any other direction. So I'm like, there could be something more personal here, especially whoever the mysterious caller was. They both tell him, like, stand down, it's over. We got officers all over, it's over. And Luke's like, no, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down swinging. So we got a shot with them firing each other, but we don't entirely know what happens with the receiving ends of each gunshot. Well, actually, no, we do, but, like, it's still like, the way they framed it was like, is this how we're gonna end the season? Because, like, we only have 2 minutes left. We better not end it on a cliffhanger. Aaron goes into defib. He's not doing so well. Everyone's rushing over to his side. Juarez watching in terror. Thankfully, Lopez and Wesley are fine. They got the baby in their hands. And then everyone's leaving the building just wondering, what the heck was this entire thing? This was all too picture perfect. Not like picture perfect, like they could have all died at any sort of point. So why didn't they die? Like, this is kind of like, the more creepy part is, like, they could have died at any point. Like, no offense, like, there were moments where, like, the 8 of those people should have killed Chen and Bradford. They could have killed Aaron. Like, there was just so many inconsistent. They could have taken the baby. There was just so many things. Why wasn't they taken? And then all of a sudden we see 2 black vans, driving the opposite direction while all the officers are going to the scene to help out. And the guy's just, like, saying, like, some stuff about how, like, oh, that's where our taxpayer money's going. It's like, thankfully we distracted every cop in the city to focus on this one little guy and his little army. Meanwhile, we did much more damage for them to remember for years to come, which I'm like, I'm confused. What did you all do? Like, it's not really, like, the most, like, obviously, like, when you have the season 1 finale, when Bradford literally collapsed on the ground, we have no idea what's going to happen, but we know Bradford could have died. Season 2 finale, Nolan was blamed for a murder he didn't commit, for crimes he didn't commit. Season 3, Angela and West get kidnapped. Season 4, okay, fine, season 4 was an exception. But this season, like, it's the most jarring finale where, like, it doesn't make sense. It literally was not set up properly. And maybe if someone's going to say, like, oh, it's that character for season 1, or it's that character for season 2, like, if y'all know who that guy is, I would love to hear it, because, like, I really don't know who the hell this person is. Like, I legitimately do not know. Like, he could be the villain for next season, and the way he sounds like, yeah, we're just here, and we're gonna leave, and, no one's ever gonna find us. I'm like, again, that was my one jarring issue of, like, the way they set up that, like, it would have been more epic if, like, for me personally, it would have been a little bit more epic, which I know they weren't going to do because, like, budgeting and, like, that's just would have been way over the top for a procedural TV show of sorts. If they would have been, like, all this time while everyone's focused on that, Elijah, like, escapes. That would have been, like, the biggest, like, oh my God moment. It would have been. Or something along that nature. I really don't know. But that was just my guesstimation on all those matters. But that was it. With that, like, one last scenic shot in LA, that's how we end season 5 of The Rookie. with just the most confusing cliffhanger in the history of the world. But for me, I still love this episode. By the hiccup and like the weird ending, I still love this finale so much. I think it represents again how amazingly well done the Rookie has always treated their like very serious episode. Not to say the comedic episodes are not, you know, anything special as well or anything great, but like they are great as well. But like this was just like they pushed it all T's. They kept us on our toes. They kept us like, you know, literally breathing of like what could happen next. What y'all more torture we're gonna bring? And they had killed Grass. Swear to God, I would have like literally just been crying all this time that we never got that Greg Garson episode. But thankfully, we still have a chance. We still have a chance. But yeah, so everyone did an outstanding job. Everything, you know, was, you know, just great. Definitely just the ending was like a little bit weird, but I'm like, definitely we'll have some answers next season. We'll have some answers. But yeah, but until that moment comes, this was just an amazing finale. This represents one of the best of season 5, one of the best in the shows. And definitely it will be remembered and annoyed by fans for months to come, as we have literally no idea what the next step's going to be for the show, in terms of like the story, but we'll figure it out together. But for me right now, I'm going to give this episode 2 thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the season finale for the Rookie. Who do you think the mysterious people are at the end? Let's have a conversation down below, as always. But I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's to Do from ActionX, reviewing and have reviewed every episode of the 5th season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing normally, What's to Do besides our Rookie episode reviews. Currently, right now, we are doing Rookie Feds episode reviews, Walker episode reviews, and Perry Mason reviews each and every week after brand new episodes on their respective platforms. But if you only care about The Rookie, flip side, one hand, this is the last episode review we're doing for the season. It's over. Season 5 has come to an end. We will be back at some point in the future with season 6, hopefully sooner rather than later. What more did I have to say? Yeah. However, we're not quite done yet. Next week, we'll be doing a season 6 predictions video for everything I want to see in season 6 of The Rookie, which will come out at some point in the future. I'm sorry for being vague. There's currently a Writers Guild strike happening right now, which I know the way I'm saying is like kind of being comedic, but I'm like, I'm sorry, it's a very serious issue, which I'm like, you know, however long that may take might affect all the shows that we're reviewing. So like, we are in for another pandemic level uncertainty of like, we have no idea what's going to happen. You know, this has happened since 2007, 2008. So, and I was a kid back then, so I didn't really care about that stuff. But we'll see how it all goes as we progress onwards with that. And then what else being said is that after that, we'll be doing a season 5 review, non-spoiler edition for everyone who has yet to see the 5th season of The Rookie, which will now be complete only on Hulu right now. So yeah, so we still have 2 more weeks of Rookie content, but if you're only caring about the episode reviews, this is the end of the road for now. Thank you so much for your support again for another season. This season literally went by so fast. Like, it's May. It's May. It's May. Anyway, hopefully we'll be back. We will be back with a 6th season round of reviews. Obviously, when we come back this time, whenever the next season starts up, we'll be doing season 2 review, non-spoilers, full spoilers edition. But that will be in the future. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. For all you members of the Rookie Nation, thank you so much again for all your support. But until now, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.